Hello everybody, and this is Kevin coming to you once again from StyleZephyr.com with another episode of Style Zephyr HD, doing a little bit something brand new today. I have got a brand new book review for you. If you're one of those gentlemen who have ever wondered to yourself that maybe at some point someone can ever make a how-to list like you would want with everything else in life, I actually have a little bit of a hidden gem for folks. If you ever wanted like a how-to, a 101 on men's clothing and men's style, but not only a how-to, but also almost a defining manual for why everything is the way it is, from clothing to shoes to cologne and everything else under the sun, for almost everything you can wear from head to toe, as well as from accessorizing, I've got a little something for you. So this is another episode of Style Zephyr HD. Stay tuned and we're going to be right on it.
Blue jeans, white shirt, walked into the room, you know you made my eyes burn. It was like James Dean, for sure. We don't need no money, we can make it all work. You were sort of punk rock, I grew up on hip-hop, but you fit me better than my favorite sweater. And I know that love is mean, and love hurts, but I still remember that day we met in December. Oh baby, I will love you till the end of time. I would wait a million years. Promise you'll remember that you're mine. Baby, can you see through the tears? Love you more than those pictures before. Say you'll remember, baby. Say you'll remember, baby. Ooh, I will love you till the end of time.
Alrighty, let's jump on into it. So like I said, if you've ever had one of those times in life, which we all do, like, man, I wish there was a book on adulting, if there was a book on how to have kids, on how to buy a house, on how to buy a car, how to start a new career, so on and so forth. Well, fortunately, when it comes to clothing and men's style in particular, there are various publications out there of different qualities and different calibers, and a few of them that are absolutely basic beyond belief, and then there are others that stand out among the rest because of the quality of how well they're researched, their photography, and the just pure extent at which the author will go to ensure that you have got an absolute encyclopedia for why different things are the way that they are in regards to how we like to dress. So for a video that I wanted to do is a little bit of a hidden gem, as I said. This is Gentlemen, a Timeless Guide to Fashion by Mr. Bernhard Roetzel. This is one of the coolest books that I have ever seen so far in regards to style. The book itself is just very, very clean. It's got amazing, even as you first start opening it up, the graphics and how well everything is researched. Bernhard is extremely well respected for the extent that he went to research everything and the time spent on the quality and the magnitude of the content on this guy, and just really in a very non-assumptive way of conveying that education if you really wanted to know a little bit better about it. The book in particular, to the best of my knowledge, it was published in 2013 and is unfortunately, again to the best of my knowledge, out of print. But if you do happen to find this guy, I did find this and purchase it through a certain online retailer. Great starting point, great foundation for just about any person, any age. If you're a lady who happens to be interested in men's fashion, if there do happen to be ladies out there who would publish something similar in regards to ladies' fashion, it's absolutely an incredible book. And if you ever thought about, you know, why a shirt is made the way that it is, what's the difference between all the different shoe types, the fedora, the cover art on it is phenomenal. And then as you get started into this guy, the foreword is fantastic. Even the elegance and the detailing in the table of contents is very wonderfully done. And the content itself, all the way from clothing to beard trimming facial hair. Everything is done very crisply. Everyday wear, hats to hangers, how to care for your items, everything under the sun that you can possibly imagine. Everything in here is so well done. The photography is exquisite in a very old worldly kind of a way. Just the clarity, just the timelessness, but also the sartorial elegance that will go into everything. And even the way that everything is published, like I said before, it's essentially a head to toe of everything. So even imagine starting your day out, shaving creams, beaver hair brushes, soaps, different kinds of balms, and why everything is the way that it is. So with everything as cleanly put out as you can, how to display things, what to look for, and one of the really interesting things about this guy is the fact that it'll actually have different inspiration and muses for who the author feels are really people that you can dive into and hold as your own heroes, so to speak, for how different things are. Everything will go into different descriptors as far as the perfumes, eau de toilette, what makes what. You kind of go into everything. Toupees for those gents who may or may not feel they may one day have to dabble. What goes into everything. Just beautiful, exquisite detailing. And it goes even further. You're getting dressed for your day. The history of undergarments, how to wear what, you're getting the rest of your day started, what kind of collars to be aware of, what's out there, what fits for your face, the materials, different cottons, different linens, herringbones and tweeds. There's just so many different kinds of even fabrics where even when you start to buy better shirts, one of the more important things about it is the textile and how it will begin to wear from the moment you first buy it to over time with wearing it, with washing it, how it will feel, and really how these different things will get better over time. How custom shirts are made, the measurements, how a tailor and how a master tailor can make all the specifications to your respective body and your silhouette. The necktie, moving on into things. What makes the necktie? What is the necktie? The ABCs of what everything is. Fabrics, the origin of the actual material that make up the silk. The how-to on how to tie the ties. The bow ties, of course, the legendary Winston Churchill, what he preferred as far as what his quote-unquote uniform, Y-O-U, that I affectionately dub it as. How to tie the different knots, and again, what kind of what fits to your face in terms of if you have a wider face, a tie knot that'll be more proportioned to your face. If you're more slim, what'll actually accentuate your silhouette if you are a slimmer build, if you're more athletic tone. Into the actual suit, Gibbs and Hawkes, one of the absolute most famous and one of the oldest tailors on Savile Row over in the UK, and they give you an absolutely phenomenal outlook into everything. So the building block of it, the fabrics that makes up what, different times of the year as far as where the season goes for your summer suits, linens, and this is one of my favorite parts. A lot of times you'll have personal stylists out there. I actually started doing that personal stylist page at stylezephyr.com, and one of the things that has really irked me in doing research is a lot of folks will say, well, we'll fit you in this because you look good in this, or because if your build is this, or your build is this. But other times they've said that, sales associates that work in stores will just kind of tell you what's nice. This is a holy grail for me and for anyone who's ever worked in and around luxury clothing, bespoke, made to measure, more mainly in bespoke. The author has actually given an absolutely phenomenal description of what fabrics are for what, how they're meant to be worn, how they drape, and even for the different times of the year. I'm already layering. It was the first day of fall officially in Chicago, although tomorrow it could also be 98 degrees. Who knows? Moving on, you've got the trousers, how the different shells are built. I'm kind of skipping ahead here, as you can tell. The shoes, the types of shoes, the builds, how they're made by the different artisans, moccasins, how everything is built, how everything is worn, the history of everything, the build. I love the diagram, just so nitty-gritty as far as what the detailing and the accenting is. what different occasions are more appropriate for what. Just really wonderful stuff. Still skipping ahead here. The history of trench coats, the different builds, the materials, the fabrics, weather protection. You've got more antiquing, whether they're leathers, whether you've got canvases, all these different materials as far as, again, the seasons. The hat, last year I amended for myself that last year was going to be the season and the year of the fedora. Started wearing a beaver felt, a wolf felt hat. One day it'll be beaver felt, and I'm sure one day I'll make a podcast and an episode about that. Everything. You've got your hats, you've got your builds, you've got the manufacturers. Moving into timepieces, you've got the manufacturers, the types of watches, the glass that you've got, the cigars. Again, Winston Churchill, again, the cigar that promptly took the name after the man. Everything about these guys in terms of tobaccos, the way that they are made, the way that they're rolled. Flasks, because why not, right? Amazing stuff. You've got daily books and binders, walking canes, the handkerchief, the builds of the handkerchiefs, the different materials, the textures. One of the greatest things about handkerchiefs that I happen to love the most is just texturing and colors and the way that everything is built and how everything is complemented. Different seasons with different materials, and then if you can't match, then clash. And the pictures are absolutely phenomenal in these guys. How to really get the detailings done in these guys. It's going to be glove season pretty soon. Different gloves and the builds and the textures, the scarves. You've got more on the materials. And then even then, for those who might need coordination tips, colors that complement each other, colors that clash with each other, and then just the way that everything can be worn over at different times of the year. Absolutely beautiful stuff. As you can tell, this thing has not gotten a whole lot of wear. I'm trying to preserve it as best I can. Cashmere, why, what does what, and then even gradually the author goes into lifestyle. A little bit more reminiscent there of some Ralph Lauren polo action, which is really great. What to wear in riding, because why not? Right? Range of motion, what to wear for what kind of colors, the history and tradition of everything. Fishing outfits, what complement goes with what. You've got your classic polo shirt, the builds, the history of Izod. You've got the Lacoste branding, everything with that. Sporting outfits and different nautical pastimes and different activities with it. Ultimately, to your black tie, formal wear. The history is all there. I believe it was Henry Poole, the tailors of famed in Savile Row in London, who had actually invented what we now know as the modern version of the men's evening tuxedo and loungewear. But this is an absolutely phenomenal book. I know I've beat a dead horse with how cool I've said that it is, but especially for a book that's no longer in print, and I'm trying to keep it as nice as I can. There are a lot of other versions and different, even clothing makers. I know that Brooks Brothers does their own versions of things, and whether they're even meant to be novelties or not, they do so many cool variations of, a gentleman and his manners and what to wear for an evening event, what to wear casually, how a proper gentleman should talk. All of these different manuals, and again, a lot of them can be just for the sake of novelty. Some of them can be collectible items, and others are just meant to be really, if you wanted to sit down and have a cigar, have a bourbon, have a coffee, or what have you, just kill off maybe an hour or two a night and then just kind of glance through it, browse through everything that might be of interest to you. Everything is meant to be for something else, whether it's the material, if it's the hat, if it's the difference between a beaver and a rabbit felt hat, if it's how to walk with a walking stick, if you want to moisturize your face, for a lot of gentlemen who will have a grooming or moisturizing regimen in the morning, kind of getting ready for your day. If it's all the way down to evening, getting ready for bed, what to wear if you sleep with clothes on or if you don't, and what the benefits of everything are. So again, this was just a really quick video. This was a really, really special, very unique book, and I know a few folks have touched on it online in the past, but I kind of wanted to do my own little visit on it. And for a lot of the gents who have come forward to me and say that they wanted to learn more about it, things like this are a great resource. I had to learn about it and start with it somewhere, so I'm glad that I was able to find a copy, and I hope that you can too. So, on behalf of, again, StyleZephyr.com, this was another video for Style Zephyr HD. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and until next time, remember to stay styled, but more importantly, remember to stay true to you. Take care.